Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm so glad you're able to join me for another of our Torah Study lessons. I'm going to start off by taking the news, putting it off to the side. Things are getting very busy now with the election so close, which makes it extra important to take some time and do something else, remove yourself from that stuff. Got my Tanakh and my kippot. And I think I'm going to wear my Star Wars kippah today. See, it has like a TIE fighter on it, an X-Wing. So, hope you all are getting outside and enjoying the weather while that is still possible. The winter may be very, very difficult and much harder to get outside than even normally. So, I definitely hope you're taking advantage and going on socially distanced walks, maybe walks on your own. If you have a phone call to make to someone, maybe throw on your mask and walk around on your phone outside rather than just being inside on the phone. A lot of different ways you can do it. All right, without any further ado, we're going to begin with our blessings over the Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. So, I'm going to read a little bit, and then we will talk about it. We're still very early in the Torah. Here we go. I'm sure you're going to recognize where this ends up going. When men began to increase on earth, and daughters were born to them, the divine beings saw how beautiful the daughters of people were, and took wives from among those that pleased them. The Lord said, My breath shall not abide in people forever, since they too are flesh. Let the days allowed them be 120 years. It was then, and later too, that the Nephilim appeared on earth, when the divine beings cohabited with the daughters of people, who bore them offspring. They were the heroes of old, folks of renown. The Lord saw how great was people's wickedness on earth, and how every plan devised by their mind was nothing but evil all the time. And the Lord regretted that God had made people on the earth, and God's heart was sad. The Lord said, I will blot out from the earth the people whom I have created, people together with the beasts, creeping things, and birds of the sky, for I regret that I made them. But Noah found favor with the Lord. This is the line of Noah. Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Noah was a righteous man. He was blameless in his age. Noah walked with God. So Noah, we all know the story of Noah. We all know what's going to happen next. God's going to tell Noah to build an ark. And Noah's going to do it. And then they're going to put the animals in the ark. There's going to be a big old flood. It'll wipe out pretty much every other human and a lot of the animals as well. It's a very dangerous thing. And that's going to happen in the rest of the chapter. And I want to talk about Noah, because sometimes Noah is someone who we think of very positively, but I don't think that we always should. It's said in the text that Noah was blameless in his age, which is good. It means that, compared to everyone else in the world, he was doing pretty well. He was kind of the good guy. But we had read before that all the people who were around Noah at the time were terrible. They were evil. They were so bad that God decided we have to get rid of everybody. So it isn't that hard for Noah to be a good person in comparison to that. Noah just has to not be evil, and he's good. And the rabbis sometimes talk about this, and they say the reason why it says Noah was blameless in his age, rather than just saying Noah was blameless or Noah was good, is that Noah's actually not very good. Noah's just fine. In a time when everyone's terrible, being fine is great. Being fine is what you should do. But usually you should aspire to be higher than that. And even when God tells Noah, you should build an ark because we're going to kill everybody with this flood. Noah built the ark. That's very obedient of Noah, but at no point does Noah say to God, let's not do that. Maybe we can talk to these people. Maybe we can get them to change their mind. That's one of the reasons Noah isn't really considered a prophet, is the prophets tended to go around to places like Jonah, certainly Moses. They would go to places and they would go to people and they would say, God's really mad at you. You got to do something to change your ways. Otherwise, you'll be punished. Sometimes they change their ways, sometimes they don't. But a key part is that they're given an opportunity. And here, with all the people who exist with Noah, they aren't given that opportunity. Noah doesn't suggest it. God doesn't suggest it. God just says to Noah, everyone you know is that your family is going to get wiped out. And Noah says, okay, let me build a boat. Not quite like that. God tells him to build a boat, obviously. But I think sometimes it's really important to be a role model for the people around us. Even if they're behaving really terribly, maybe we can just show them how to be fine, how to do sort of the bare minimum. But we also want to always aspire to be higher, and we always want to be blameless, and we always want to be good in all things for all time, so that when people learn about our story, or maybe when our families generations down learn about us, they don't say so-and-so was fine. Things were okay. Things were really bad in their time, but they were okay. But to say this person was great and this person did all the right things, even in a difficult time, so that we, who might be living in a better time, can still look up to them because they didn't do the bare minimum, they did more. So that's our takeaway for today. Let me get our Misha Berach. Remember, this is a prayer of healing. So if there's someone in your life who you want to give some healing to, maybe give some peace of mind, this is a good time to think about them. It could be COVID related, could be not COVID related. There are a lot of ways people can get healing. If you don't want to think about that, feel free to just close your eyes and take some breaths and get ready for Shabbat.
Find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say
Okay. So, that's it. I hope you all have a very nice and peaceful and restful Shabbat. On Saturday at 2 o'clock, we have another of our Torah studies. If you would like to join us for that, I'd love to see you. And otherwise, Shabbat Shalom, and I will see you next week. Shabbat Shalom.